Hey there, everyone. This is Figueroa at Dysfunctional of Dysfunctional.com. And today, let's talk Halloween Horror Nights. Last year, we had The Last of Us, Stranger Things 4, The Exorcist Believer, Universal Monsters Unmasked, Chucky Ultimate Kill Count, Evil Dead Rises, Monstros, the Monsters of Latin America, Holidays in Hell, Terror Tram, The Exterminators, and a couple of scare zones. As you can see, that this year has a lot of new ideas and some returning, such as the Weeknd's trilogy. The Weeknd's mazes have been pretty cool so far. They're very creative and I think are very much on brand for him. I think it incorporates his music very well. The aesthetics are usually very terrifying, very bloody, and it's an enjoyable walk through. Usually it's one of the longer ones, so like maybe 5 to 6 minutes of walking through it. It's also one of the ones that has the most wait time to get in. So I do recommend if people go to Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights, and you want to do the weekends maze, I would think that you would want to hit it first just so you can get it out of the way, and hopefully there's not as much wait time as there is later on. Um, Continuing with last year's, The Last of Us was pretty decent. I think it could have been better. Stranger Things 4 was pretty cool. I mean, who doesn't like Stranger Things? So, The Exorcist Believer, it was a lot of the same thing we've seen in previous iterations of The Exorcist at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights, but it was still pretty cool. It changed things around. It was pretty nice to walk through. Universal Monsters Unmasked was also pretty good, but I'm a classic horror fan, so I enjoy watching all these classic monsters come to life. Chucky has always been one of my favorites. I think I watched the original Chucky movie when I was a little too young, so it creeped me out a bit. Evil Dead Rises was probably my favorite from last year. Um, it was just awesome. The atmosphere there was cool. It followed a good storyline. It incorporated the movie very well. Monstros, the Monsters of Latin America was awesome to see last year. It was very creative. It was something new, and since I'm of Latin descent, it was cool to see some of these monsters from our Latin American folklore come to life. Holidays in Hell was a nice little walk, but it's something we've seen before and not necessarily something that stuck out to me last year. The Terror Tramp's always one of my favorites. The Exterminators was pretty cool. The storyline was awesome. The characters were cool. The the walk was a little short last year, but I think it wasn't bad. What I'm looking forward to this year, definitely A Quiet Place. I'm trying to figure out what they would do with that. I do want to see the Weekend Nightmare trilogy. Uh, it's supposed to be an immersive experience curated by the multi-award winning artist, which is the same thing they've said about the past ones, but I'm trying to see what they do to push it further. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I wasn't a big fan of the movie. I did enjoy it. It was a decent watch, and if you haven't seen it, I suggest you take the time to see it. It's pretty cool, and I want to see what they do with that maze. Insidious, The Further. I'm an Insidious fan. I'm a Blumhouse fan. Their horror movies are usually really good. Um they seem like independent horror film with a higher budget. It just makes things seem pretty cool. Universal Monsters Eternal Bloodlines. It's an all female monsters led haunted house inspired by Universal Pictures classic monsters featuring music by Slash. Once again, I'm a classic monster fan, so I want to see this. It's even more cool that it's the female monsters. We've had a lot of the classic male monsters go up front for a couple of years now. It's pretty cool to see the female ones. And then there's music by Slash. Slash is amazing. He's a great artist, and I can't wait to see what he does with this music. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We've seen this a couple of times. This is the Legacy of Leatherface. It plays tribute to the 50th anniversary of the iconic maniacal monster. We've seen a couple of Texas Chainsaw Massacres in the past. They're pretty cool. They're usually in a very good spot. The line is almost not usually isn't too long, so it's always a good place to go and make sure you at least get to walk a couple through this maze. Monsters 2, The Nightmares of Latin America is a sequel to the 2023 hit Haunted House. It was pretty cool last year. Let's see what they do to push it forward and keep it evolving. There's a lot of really good folklore monsters from Latin America, so I hope they incorporate more. Dead Exposure, Death Valley, an original concept house with petrifying radioactive zombies. I'm not sure what to expect by this. I kind of had when I saw the trailer, I was kind of having the feeling of um a nuclear war zone or something. So let's see what that entails. I will be having a review of all these coming up later on in the week since I will be doing the press preview night. Then we get to one of my favorites every year, which is the Terror Tram. This year, it's entered the Blumhouse. Blumhouse Terror Tram, you got me. It's a terrifying experience taking fans on a close encounter with characters from Blumhouse Productions' popular franchises, including Megan, The Black Phone, Freaky, The Purge, and Happy Death Day. I've seen all these movies. All these movies are awesome. I enjoyed Megan. The Black Phone is incredible. Freaky is incredible. The Purge is incredible, and Happy Death Day is pretty cool too. The Purge, Dangerous Waters. I saw this last year. It was a pretty good production. It's uh a good length. It's not too long, but I want to see what they do with it this year. I hope they increase the stunts. I hope more is done with this. Luchadores Monstruosos. This is awesome. It's an all new scare zone. Who doesn't like lucha libre in the Latin American culture? It's incredible. It's so fun, and making the monsters is even cooler. We'll see what happens there. Skull Lords. I want to see what they look like. It's a scare zone featuring a gothic inspired royal court of the dead. That sounds so cool. Chainsaw Punks, a troop of chainsaw killers will confront guests as they enter the event. This seems like something they do every year, so let's see what how that is. Murder of Crows, a flock of menacing crow stilts walkers will terrify guests. That sounds interesting. Once again, I can't wait to go to this. It's always a fun event for me. It's something I look forward to every year, and I will bring you guys a review. What I really enjoyed. So what to definitely uh look out for, things you want to do right off the bat, and whether or not the front of line pass is worth it for this year. Once again, thank you very much for watching this video. Follow my stuff on thisfunktional.com. Follow me on social media at thisfunctional on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Follow my YouTube, youtube.com/thisfunctional. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.